Tutamke nayo? Alright. So karibu sana. Ataanguka nayo. Tuanguke nayo. How do you anguka nayo? Haya, welcome her with the anguka nayo. Anguka nayo iko? Haya, tuwekee anguka nayo, tuanguke nayo tukimkaribisha. Tunaanguka nayo.
My left knee and my right knee don't coordinate, but the upper part of the body knows what to do. So having full body coordination with music when standing is a problem, but it's fine. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Now, we're supposed to be talking about stress, burnout, work-life balance, and the impact on performance and well-being, and get coping mechanisms around that. We're going to make this a proactive session because, one, we are few, so it's okay, even though most of us, I think, are live streamed. We are not learning something new. We are reminding ourselves of what all this is and learning to recognize these things. Now, what is stress? Most of us hear the word stress and we have different ideas of what it is. Who can tell me what they think stress is? What is stress? Randomly. There's no wrong answer in adulthood. Stress? Yes. Something bothersome? Yes. Another idea? 3 and then being beyond what you can handle? Yes. Feeling stuck? Confused? Demand? Anything different? Almost the same. Very correct. But stress is the body's natural response to pressure. It's a natural response to pressure. Pressure of any kind, financial pressure, emotional pressure, work-life pressure, psychological, whichever situation that puts you in an uncomfortable position, that makes your body react, that's a stressor. And what is burnout? Because if we understand those two, we'll be able to now actively pick what is what and know how to work about it. What's burnout? When someone tells you I am burnt out and I need to breathe, what does it mean? It means exhaustion, reaching the dead end. Anything different? Elastic limit, good. I like that, elastic limit. So burnout is basically chronic stress that has been unmanaged. Most of the time it's in relation to the workplace, yeah? Because it's very difficult for you to say, I am burnt out at home. Since your home becomes a responsibility that you cannot do without, but burnout is normally in regards to something that you can decide, this is too much, I can up and go. But you can't up and go from being a mother. You can't up and go from being a parent or being a child. Now, these two things can be used interchangeably, but depending on the location and the situation. Today, we're going to focus more on staff, because in a university setup, I think we have so much that engulfs us and pushes us to this limit, and we get to the elastic limit that we've talked about, that can make us break or retreat, readjust, and move on. Now, we have different causes of stress. I lecture at KMTC, here in Kisii campus. And I can resonate with those who are in the faculty teaching, actively teaching the lecturers. Those ones in management, I can also resonate with you because I've been a manager in a hospital setup and many before. So we can share a bit of situations whereby stress can be brought about. Have you ever woken up one day and asked yourself, oh God, this is another morning? Ushawekwa kwa hiyo situation. Unafungua macho and the first thing you say is, we, ini asubuhi ingine tena. Have you ever felt that? Yes, most commonly than ever. Sindio? Sometimes you sit back and ask yourself, is it worth it waking up to go to work? Have you ever reached that point? Unalala unaamka unajiambia leo ni Monday. Kweli ni lazima niende kazi. Nisipoenda, what happens? I have been there. Maggie can testify and tell you. You wake up in the morning and ask yourself, is it worth it? And you start weighing your pros and cons. If I don't go, what happens? Long run nitafutwa. Can I live without a salary? Okay. If I go, I may kill someone. Sindio? Si tushafika hapo before. Nikienda for sure. Jesus, today, something bad will happen. I'm in a foul mood. And you tell yourself, instead of going to jail, because you are too young to go to jail, is there anybody who's old enough for jail? No. So instead of feeling that bad, you call in sick. Piga simu, leo mimi ni mgonjwa, wacha nilale. And if your boss is gracious enough, they tell you, do what? Sleep, I'll cover you. Then tomorrow the same thing happens, then the next day it happens. And they keep on wondering what exactly is going on with you. What are these causes of things that could make us feel or get to that level? One, most common in this setup, workload. You have so much to do. You have very little time. You cannot be able to break it down into reasonable, deliverable tasks. It's a human impossibility from your end. But because there's a boss somewhere, and the boss has a boss somewhere, so everyone has a boss. Yes, you have a boss. The ultimate one is your VC. He also has a boss, and his boss has a boss. Yeah? Now pressure falls all the way from above downwards. And what do you do? Because sasa sisi ni watu wa mkono, you cannot do what? You cannot run. Staff challenges. I don't think there's an institution that has adequate staff. Is there an institution with adequate staff? Hakuna. You find that too many students, too few teachers or lecturers, too much to do. HR is very busy. They would want to employ, they can't employ. And even them are under pressure from both sides. They want to help you, they cannot help you. Budget constraints, message from above. And things have changed these days. Squeezy nasikia mnalipa school fees. Mnalipa na e-citizen. Hata nyinyi si mmeenda huko. Money goes, money doesn't come back. It goes, comes back quarter. You're here asking for pay rises. DVC tells you, decide, is it a salary or a promotion by name without monetary implication? Choose one. So those are the things that push us to a point. And when you hear that, you ask yourself, this packet of milk that used to cost 25 shillings a few years ago, now is 60 bob. But your salary remains what? Constant. Kila kitu kinapanda, kuna kwanga na kakatun kazuri in the newspaper. Everything is growing, but your salary is just there. It's like stagnating, Or even worse, ni kama nafupika. It's like, the back is compressing, going downwards, and is becoming shorter and smaller. Another problem or stressor is role ambiguity or multitasking, task shifting, whereby you're one person, you have been given a clear job description to do, but because you're not enough, you are given extra duties. I think in our employment letters it says, and any other, that last statement of employment, ka statement kajinga sana lakini kakona uzito pia. And any other tasks assigned, sindio, to you, something of the sort from government. And when you're given a lot of work to do, you start saying, this is not in my JD. Someone pulls out your employment letter and shows you that last statement. Hapo ndio inaangukia. Are you doing it or not? Choose one. And it becomes a challenge because we are social beings. We know that you're supposed to report by 8 or earlier, depending. And you leave by 5 or later, depending. When you're here, maybe you're a HOD, you're a lecturer, you have your own roles. But the moment you leave that gate, you're a wife, you're a husband, you're a mother, you're a father, you are a child. Suko na mzazi. You're a child. You are a neighbor. You have a neighbor mwenye hajiwezi. You have a sister or a brother mwenye hajiwezi. Black tax hits you from above. And they tell you, school fees is due. Watoto wajaenda shule, grade 10. And then they tell you, where una mtoto wa grade 10, nisaidie. Jirani anasema help too. Your brother help too. Your mom is sick at home with hypertension, okay? And diabetes. Your father is disabled, chronic back illness. Your child is in the university campus, doing very well. And everybody looks at you. You are called doctor because it's a PhD or because it's MPCHB, whichever, or prof. And everyone expects you to have a full pocket of money, right? The title comes with responsibility. But is that salary growing? Kama stagnate hapo chini, sindio? So you come to work and you have an ambiguous role, and your role is fighting both at work. You feel like you're 10 personas split in one that cannot be able to handle itself. You leave the gate, you have something else to do. Now, God forbid if you're a doctor like some of us, and you're waking up at 3 in the morning, for someone to tell you, daktari, hii dawa imeisha pharmacy. Nimejaribu kupiga nje, supply hawezi tuletea sai. And you wonder, sasa nimeamshwa saa 9. You can't get it. How am I supposed to get it? But because you cannot respond vibaya, what do? You smile and tell them, you take care of the patient, we'll sort it in the morning. Utarudi kulala? You can't. Then if you're breastfeeding like me, hiyo simu iliamsha mtoto. I have a 1-year-old. Imeamsha mtoto, and at that age of waking up to play. They wake up to play. Malicious small things, beautiful ones. We thank God for babies. So they wake up at 3. They're smiling and saying, mama, mama, papa, papa. Mm-hmm. And you are tired, exhausted, and you need to sleep. By the time you put this one to sleep, it is 4:30 after he's gugu gaga. And you need to wake up to prepare the ones going to what? To school. They stand up and you're done preparing them to school. You need to put on your hat of what? Work. It's almost 7. You need to get out of the house and go. Won't you get tired? Yes, it's very normal. That is lack of control. You cannot control it. These are things that come on a day-to-day basis that you have no control whatsoever about. I remember when I was getting married, I used to say I will not get married. Inaitwa nini? Independent woman. When you are young at 20 and stupid, and you're just from medical school and you have a title and you feel you're God's gift to humankind, go ye out and save the world. Then I got married. Reality hit. And I asked my mom one day, after I lost my firstborn son, I asked her, sasa, nime benefit nini na kuolewa? And she was shocked. You see the face he's giving me is the same face my mother gave me. Same face. And I asked her, now tell me as a woman, as your daughter, Vera, nime benefit nini by having children and getting married? Sawa, nimeitwa Mrs. So and so. Nimeitwa mama fulani na fulani. But me as a person, what have you benefited, Maggie? You as Maggie. Not as mama. Not me as Mama Tim. Not you as Mrs. You as Margaret. What have you benefited? What have you benefited? trouble. Sindio? Umeongeza shida kwa society. Normally watu wakioana, ukiona harusi inapita unasema, "Obe." Wakisi wanasema nini? Ameongeza shida vitina kwa community, sindio? Lack of control. You cannot control it, okay? You would want to, but you cannot control it. So you wake up and tell yourself, another day, another dollar. Get up, do what you're supposed to do, move on. Me, I tell myself, I'm waiting for when they'll get to 18 and they leave my house. Do they ever go? No, they don't go, sindio? Then I remind myself, vile nakimbianga kwa mama yangu, hata mimi na miaka yangu. Nachoka, I ran to my whose house? My mother's house. It doesn't end. Then she welcomes me nicely. And I look at her and ask her, hii miaka yote bado tunakukimbilia mama, mami. It never ends. So, poor work-life boundaries. This is the biggest culprit we have. As DVC said, you wake up at 3 in the morning, WhatsApp messages. Ushaijikuta kwa group penye, mudosi anakutumia kazi saa 9 za usiku. Thank God bless you for that. She said no. We have been in groups where our bosses send us instructions at 1 a.m. to be executed at 7 before 8. For implementation at 8:15. For a presentation at 8:30. And you wonder, where were they during the day yesterday? Is this a surprise? No. It is something that has been known, yes. Why the urgency at 1 a.m.? Who's dying? The company? The university? No, you. Yes. We carry work home. I carry my scripts to mark home. Kwanza sahi exam period. Like today, I am feeling overwhelmed because I know I have 3 units already. I was crying 150 students, and then I had 1,000. I laughed when I was sitting there. And I said, oh God, this teacher that lectures 1,000 students, akinafaa peweka kitu vizuri tu roho safi, si 1 + 1. If I have 150 only, and I feel overwhelmed, what of that person that has times 10? And these are people who do not understand that you are there to shape their lives. They will understand after they have left campus. We never understood when we were in school, sini ukweli. Hata sisi tulikuwa hivyo, or worse. But now, this mwalimu has to carry these things, go home. Mark them. Do you know what it means to mark 100 scripts? Times 10. Each and every one of them. You go home, you're a mother, and you have 1,000 scripts in your hand. What will you do and what will you not do? Carrying work home. You have presentations to do, those in administration. You have courseworks to make sure that are done. You have a department to run. And those in the health department, medical, you have patients left, right, and center. You need to run and see them. Sindio, mnaendanga kuwaona, I was told so. You go see them in the hospital where they're admitted. When will you come back to do you? It's an impossibility. So, that's another major stressor. Interpersonal conflict, AKA, also known as moshene, gossip, sindio, disrespect, bullying. Have you guys been bullied at work? Has anybody ever been bullied at work? I have. Actively. To my face. Shamelessly. And what do you do when you're bullied at work? You smile. Did you smile? You smiled. You cried. In front of their face. I don't cry in front of a bully banner. You give them strength and to persist. I remember I was bullied properly. Not once, not twice, quite a number of times. I was bullied to my face. And they mention your name as they're bullying you, shamelessly. Sometimes, you know, you tell God, Jesus, not today. Shetani afanye nini? Ashindwe. Si leo, staki majaribu leo. And you do what Mama told me. Take water. And do what? put it in your mouth so that you don't what? Respond. You don't respond. But now when you have a face like mine that responds with non-verbal cues, you know, somebody talks to you and you're like, naturally, you don't have a poker face. You can't just be blank. Sura yako inajibu bila wewe kufungua mdomo. And they know what they've said is wrong. So they're like, oh, sorry. It's okay. Bullying is very common. It can be outright. It can be subtle. Someone can bully you without you knowing you're being bullied. And you tolerate it today, tolerate it tomorrow, tolerate it the next day until you get to an elastic limit and you can't take it anymore. What happens? You will respond back. Sindio, talipuka. Useme, I think enough is enough. Stop it. Conflict. There are some people who don't know how to address others. The first time I was appointed into management, first time I was appointed into management, I remember I was the only female in that setup and young. The others were 48 and men. So men who feel unajua umefika self-actualization. And then a young girl is brought into the mix to haribu matrix, vile wanasemanga. And you know, every time you want to say something, someone looks at you because of your gender. And you say, I feel that, because we were taught how to speak according to, you know, I feel, not I want, I would like. I feel, what if we do this instead of I want? And when I would start a sentence, everybody else would talk. And when they're talking, I'm quiet. When I want to respond to something, everybody else talks. Day 1, day 2, week 1, week 2, week 3. You asked a question, and then they answer it on your behalf. So what did I decide to do? The last time when someone started talking when I was talking, I told them, you know, listening is a skill. Communication is where I speak, you listen. You speak, I listen. It is two-way. So let's just decide, are we communicating or are you talking? Choose one. If you want to talk, I will go and let you talk. If you want to communicate, let us learn to listen. God put ears for a reason. Here. And 2 specifically, not 1. So that ukikosa kusikia huku, umesikia ya huku. Na kama hazifanyi, kuna hearing aids, sindio? Uende usaidike na moja. Do you know eventually they learned to listen? And I was so happy about it. My life became very easy. Now imagine you're talking and someone is talking above you. That's a very big stressor. Kwanza if you're a manager or a director or a HOD. You're in your class lecturing and a student is speaking over what you're saying. You say a sentence, they repeat. It's very disturbing. Harassment. Harassment is another cause of stress. We are harassed directly and indirectly. We are harassed knowingly and unknowingly. And harassment comes in all forms. You can have 1, sexual harassment. Yes? Yes. Common with lecturers here? Not really. Common. Plus minus, yeah? Okay, women don't want to talk about it. Is there? Yes. The truth is it is there. But people don't want to say that it is there as lecturers. Mnaona aibu. Iko. Call a spade a spade. Then you are harassed by a student, like what we are being given as an example today, mtu kidogo arishike mwalimu wake shati. You are harassed by your boss because of non-deliverables. You are harassed by the head of department. You are harassed by Have you ever been harassed by other staff? Other staff too. Some random person, who works in the university like you, maybe anafagia, you didn't see, you're lost in thought, you pita penye amekanyaga, ameosha, inakuwa kesi. Anakuleta juu. Inaitwa kupepeta. Unapepetwa. And then you ask yourself, akisiku, basi kazi ilikuwa ifanywe kabla watu waingie asubuhi. It was supposed to have been done before 8. But life as it is, sawa unaifanya saa 3. Mimi sijakuuliza, ni nini unanipigia kelele, And you keep quiet and move on, yeah? That's another cause of stress. So we've said conflict resolution, conflict issues. I have my own predetermined set of mind. I have my own train of thought. You have yours. We can't seem to agree. And let's all recognize the fact that we are diverse. And our diversity is what brings us together and makes this a harmonious environment. But this diversity of train of thought, of thinking, of reacting, and of response to individuality could also bring conflict. Someone could be narrow-minded. You could be open-minded. Hakuna gray area. Unajua kuna mtu mwenye ni hivi. Very rigid, This is white and it is white. If this is black, it is black. Hakuna kukutana katikati. Brings about a lot of challenges and problems. Another cause of stress, job insecurity. I think these days there's a trend of performance contracting. And at the end of your term, your contract, and you ask yourself, sa kesho nafaa kufanyiwa appraisal. Parasympathetic system kicks in. You start sweating. Your tummy growls. You feel like going to the toilet 20 times. And there's nothing coming out. You didn't even eat the previous night. And you wonder, is this next year going to be favorable enough for me in terms of a job? Or there's a time when guys were laid out in this institution. You remember, some years back, very many people were laid off. Very many people were laid off. People were crying in town, left, right, and center. Some even died. Some died. Some became very sick. They went into depression. I know of a few who got depressed and died. People who were used to sitting in an office with titles went home to nothing. Completely. And mwenye umezoea kuona anaendesha gari anakaa kwa ofisi, yeye ndio wa kusema amerudi nyumbani ushago, kwa sababu town hajiwezi without a job. Job insecurities. You wake up today, you have a job, tomorrow you have none. Maybe, professor, what you will do, you need to organize for people to be taught about financial management, as somebody had suggested. Because people are dying out of stress and depression because of that. When you leave, you don't know where you're going to get your next plate of food from. Then we have personal life stressors. You have a child who is problematic, mtoto anakusumbua, unapiga magoti kumwombea, mpaka magoti kona max. The Lord knows you by name. Okay, God knows us by name, but because of your favorite prayers, you've been praying daily. Yani Mungu anajua fulani na fulani anaenda kupiga magoti kuomba tena. You have a husband that is problematic in all aspects. You have no peace. Yes, that one you have said. Halali kwa nyumba, umezoea nalala kwa nyumba, leo halali. Kesho halali, kesho kutwa halali, akikuja after a week, amebadilisha nguo, ameenda amewaacha njaa, na amesema usifanye kazi. So you are a what? Housewife. Waiting for a man to provide. God help you. Or you are a husband, with a wife who is self-aware. There's a new trend in town I read on social media. Foolish 40. You people know it. Get to 40 years and you become foolish like a woman, as a woman. It's like when you get to 40, all sense disappears. And then you get to 45 and you realize, way. So this is what life is about. So you either tip over negatively or tip over positively. Either urudie Yesu, ama umendo ukiendanga. Personal life stresses. And then there's the most famous one, financial. You have money, it is not enough. Kuna mtu akona pesa ya kutosha? Hakuna. Hata wadosi wetu si bado wanatafuta pesa. Hata wenye wanatuibia si wanatuibia tu wakiendelea kutafuta pesa. Hey, money is never enough. So you have a job, it's never enough. And then the more money you have, the more expectations you have on yourself. Before actually society gives you expectations, you give yourself expectations. Now my salary is $1 million, you know? Meaning, alafu with the way we are stupid, I need to upgrade my car. If I have $1 million a month, I mean, I don't need to drive a car that kunywas 1,500, sindio full tank. Kuna kwanga na magari zinanusa mafuta. Mnajua? Or hii mambo ya route 11, kuisha, finish, I have to drive. Yeah? Juu kona mita kila mwezi. My child needs to go to RVA. Do you know of RVA? Rift Valley Academy. Have you heard of it? Where children are dropped by choppers. One of my friends in town has 2 children in RVA. And he was complaining the other day that mtoto wake alimsomea. Daddy, ukikuja visiting, naomba usikuje na TX. You are embarrassing me. And you know the child was saying it, we were there. In front of us as family friends. Please don't come with the TX, aki unaniaibisha. Kama huwezi kuja na TZG, ama na V8, ama hata uende ununue range because you can afford it, don't come for visiting. Si lazima. I'm good. Tuma pesa, I'll be good to go. Send someone to pick me up when school closes. And you know, we looked at each other. Sasa mimi mwenye mtoto wangu ako PP1, PP2, you know, we look at each other like, hey, watu wanatafutanga chakula ya kesho. Mtoto anakuambia ako njaa. Huyu mtoto wake anakuambia nini? Usikuje na V8 na TX, unaniaibisha. Levels. The more you earn, the more life expects more from you. But these are pressures that we add on ourselves. Sini ukweli? Yes, because I was not born in poverty, and I was not born in extreme wealth, but we were okay. We were very okay growing up. We learned in very good schools. We are doing very well for ourselves. But I was taught that kama pesa iko. Wakati haitakuwa ukiitisha kitu na ikosekane, ufanye nini? Tulia. Ikikuja, utapata. Na isipokuja, it is okay. You will not die unless you are dying. So the values that we instill in our children also matter how they will become either stressors to us later in life or blessings to us, source of happiness. Now, this burnout that we are saying is continuous stress that has been unmanaged at work. Sana is something that has been disturbing us for a very long time. Long you have been saying, we are 5. We need to be 25. I am overworked. Help me out. Nobody listens. First year, second year, third year. 5 years, you're still at that same number. 10 years, you're still there. You're growing older. Our neurons are getting depleted. Neurons ni zile vitu zenye ziko kwa brain, kwa wenye wajui, zenye zinasaidia the brain to function. Ndio, memory, etc. As our neurons are declining and dying, we are becoming forgetful. It's normal. So how we used to think and remember things 10 or 15 years ago is not the same now. The workload that was there for you then, when you were active, you could comfortably do it. It's not possible for you to do it now. Physiologically, it is not a possibility. And you feel unheard, not listened to. Nobody cares. Nobody is bothered about you because you're continuing with life as you are every day. One day you stand up and say, what? I quit. And the moment you say, I quit, what do people ask you? Uko sawa kweli? Si uve ndo anaanzanga kuuliza. Uko sawa kweli? Yule amekuwa wazimu. Uko sawa kweli? Yuko sawa. But you have persevered. You are burnt out. And if something doesn't change, you are exhausted. First sign you have to know of burnout is exhaustion. Unachoka. You become so tired that you think of going back to that daily activity called work. Unajiambia no, sitakufa. Wacha tu niwache. Then you either detach yourself from it and say no, I will just not do it. Or you decide to stick around and become a cynic. Who's a cynic? Who's a cynic? What does cynicism mean? Any idea? Ushawahi pata mtu mwenye kila saa anachocheanga kitu, kila saa anachocheanga kitu. You sit and agree we're going to do this, but you know this is wrong. Do this, do this, do this. Cynics, they critically analyze negatively, not to help, but to break you. And most of the time, cynicism comes from either a narcissist who's making you feel so bad about yourself because they don't want you to remember they have a problem, or somebody who's just tired and they feel they have nothing to lose. So let me just say what is in my head. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Utanifuta halafu. So, when this happens, the first thing is you become less effective. Kazi na drop, poop, performance goes down. At home, you look so tired, you look out of place, you don't even realize who you are anymore. You find someone repeating the same clothes they wore yesterday and today. Yenye amevaa jana shati, amerudia amevaa leo. Na kwa sababu nyumbani haongeleshi bibi. Bibi ameamua anamwangalia tu. Sasa ingine tunamkanga na mgumbaya. Decide there was war at night. This morning I shall not help you as the help I should be. Umeamka umeoga, God be with you. Put on the same shirt, you go. Look at him go. It's all right, good day. And he goes, and people realize, hizi ni ile shati alivaa jana. And you do your chores and you go home, still confused. How can you know that somebody is stressed or burnt out? We've heard about causes of stress. We have very many signs and symptoms of stress or burnout. Most common, number one, how do you know someone is stressed? What happens? They could either respond positively or negatively, but it goes extreme. One, silence. Sindio? Either mtu amue anyamaze, kabisa funge mdomo and forever hold their peace. Or on the contrary, when they open their mouth to talk, they are agitated, they are toxic, and the things that come out of their mouths you cannot control. Okay? Two, how else can you know someone is stressed? Sleeping. Today, you're in bed. You've overslept till 8. Okay, maybe you are feeling unwell. Tomorrow, you're sleeping till 9. Labda amechoka. The next day, 10. After that, siendi kazini. Wacha leo nipumzike nimechoka. Uko sawa kweli? No. Families are used to eating together. You're in bed asleep. Unaamshwa, kuja dadi tukule. Wacha nipumzike kwanza. Wacha nilale kidogo. Not normal. Another sign of stress, persistent headaches. Yes? Kila saa, kichwa inaniuma, kichwa inaniuma, kichwa inaniuma, kichwa inaniuma. Why? Kunywa maji. You know, we like telling people, kichwa inakuma, kunywa maji. It's actually therapeutic, dehydration. It's not just a statement. So the head tells you there's a problem somewhere. We tell you kunywa maji, lakini kumbe shida yako si nini? Si dehydration. Your kidneys are good. Your body is well hydrated. You are just stressed. You're overthinking. You have pressure. What's another sign of stress? Eating. Under-eating. Overeating. If you find me gaining weight, I am stressed. Hii msiniangalie ni baby fat. Ninanyonyesha. Niko na stress ya mtoto. 1 year. Yeah, 1 year is a very bad period. They are walking all over. They realize they have their feet. If you're not careful, they're on the stairs, they're in the balcony. Utaambia nini watu akivunja mguu. Ngumu. So either under eating, somebody will keep on telling you, sina appetite. I don't feel like eating. Today I don't feel like eating. Tomorrow I don't feel like eating. The next day they give you an excuse, chakula umepikaje. Have you had someone ask you that? They take their spoon, do this, and then, hii ni nini kwanza umepika? Umepika aje sasa? You're like, that is how I've been cooking every day. Okay? It's not you, it's them. Or overeating. You eat now, after 2 hours, you're eating again. Another 2 hours, you're eating again. What happens when you're stressed? Your anxiety hormones, cortisol, go up. Parasympathetic system kicks into play. Your acids are raised. Food empties very fast from your tummy. And you start feeling kuchemka kwa tumbo because hydrochloric acid is too much. It's produced in excess in the stomach lining. So your body always sends a signal that you're hungry. Well, in reality, ni akili tu imekuwa na mawazo, HCl imepanda. So it needs something to work on instead of working on your tummy to cause you ulcers. So you need to put food inside. So kituana tunakula tunatembea na chakula ujue hatuko sawa. Si eti tuko sawa mfuko, tuko na mawazo. Ukiona tukitembea na maji, pia inaweza kuwa tuko na nini? Stress. Sawa? Don't think we are healthy and going to the gym. No. Another sign of stress. What could be another sign of stress? Extreme behaviors, Extreme behaviors. Either very erratic, very aggressive than normal, or just withdrawn. A child that is used to being open and talking and, very interactive, suddenly is quiet. Please find out what exactly is going on. There is something wrong somewhere. Or a spouse. Hata nyinyi hapa, mkibeba shida za kazi, mkifika kwa nyumba, what's the first thing you do? Niwache tu kidogo. Sindio? Akiwacha tu kidogo nifanye nini? Nipumzike kidogo, just a minute. And you want to just refresh. And men have a very nice way of doing it. If they're driving home, they will park the car, sit in the car, not come out immediately. They will sit there. You're waiting for someone to come in 2 minutes. Allah. Kwani ako na mizigo? You send a child. Endo angalia kama dadi ako na mizigo tubebe. Hana kitu. Okay, labda ako kwa simu. 5 minutes. Hai. 10. Tuma mtoto tena. Endo angalia ako sawa. Amekaa tu kwa gari. Ako sawa. 15. Asha. You go to the car. Are you okay? I'm fine, I'm coming. Ni nini? Niko sawa na kama. Okay. Kiambia hivyo unajua unatoka. Enda. Anajaribu kufanya nini? Decompress, ndio? Kutoa stress ndio akiingia anaingia akiwa fresh. But that thing works, That thing works. I tried it. It really works. When you have a bad day, sit somewhere in silence, contemplate. If you want, do whatever you need to do. Walk outside when fresh. Greet the children with a smile. They can read moods. Any other signs of stress? Dressing. Coming to you. My dress, my choice. Ngumu bwana. Kivaa vibaya tutakwambia umevaa vibaya. Choice yako lakini ni mbaya. Ukweli usemeke, si ndio? So you either start being very vocal, not verbally, non-verbally with your outfit, dress code, and rebellious, or you cover up. In the hospital setup, we have some people when they're assaulted sexually, they change completely. Mtu anaanza kujifunika kila mahali, thinking maybe they were assaulted or raped because of how they were exposed. So unapata mtu anavaa nguo mrefu mpaka chini, anafunga nywele, hiyo uzuri ndio ilifanya, covered up completely. And it is a sign that you need to ask whatever is happening in their lives, but people don't tend to look at it that way. People forget. On the other hand, they can decide to do what? Not dress at all. Sini kweli? Wanatembea uchi. Mnajua kutembea uchi, si ndio? Si mnawaona hapa shule. Mnafaa mtafute kama Strathmore, sijui kama mko nayo. Anaitwa dress code prefect. Yuko here in campus. You don't. You need it. In Strathmore, you can't come dressed as you want. You'll be sent home from the gate. Go back, change. Go back, change. At whichever stop it is, go back. So that is something that is a sign of stress. Yes? Mhm. 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 I miss somewhere. You're absent-minded. Unajikuta unasalimia mtu good morning na ni usiku. Akili haiko. Akina sikupenda kwako. Akili tu iko busy. You know. Have you ever been stressed or worried to a point you're talking to yourself? And then unaambia mtu I'm having a conversation, me, myself and I. Now unaongea with signs and symbols, but it's you. It's supposed to be internal dialogue, but it comes out as an external action. Okay? Any other sign of a stress? A stressor? Rudeness. True. Ushaipata mwanafunzi na kujibu anakuza kwa hivyo. Utafanya. How many of you read today's? Hatukusoma. Why didn't you read? Hivyo tu, hatukujisikia. Or for those in the health industry, the medical department. Kwanza sisi ndio tunasumbuka. Mgonjwa anakuja unamuuliza mami, nielezee ni nini ilikuwa jana. Shida yako ni gani? Kwa nini nikuambie? Kuna ugonjwa yote yenye unakunywa madawa kwa muda mrefu. Kwa nini unaniuliza maswali mingi? You know, very rude, non-responsive, does not want to cooperate, and you wonder how do you help them out? Okay? Any other sign of stress that you know? Yes. Very common. Sana, si ndio? Kazini. Nimebeba shida zangu za nyumbani. Nimefika kazini, naona kila mtu akiniongelesha na nisumbua. Then the next thing that comes out of my mouth is what? Wewe kama unaona sifanye ni si ufanye. Kuna mikono zako mbili na miguu, so you just do it. Ni nini tunasumbuana? And then some of us like asking each other, so wewe pia ni daktari? So wewe pia ni nurse? Ana mgonjwa ni sawa, mimi nimechoka. And you know when you say nimechoka, it's a valid excuse not to do something. Si ni ukweli? Yes, you can't push. So there are very many signs and symptoms of stressors, and these are things that we need to know when they begin, how they begin, and how they evolve. These things overall have or affect our well-being and our life, our performance at work, our performance in the home, and generally all-rounded. In matters health, the moment you're stressed, chronic illnesses set into place. First thing that comes about is diabetes, hypertension. Gani inakuja kwanza sana? Hypertension, headache. Pili, diabetes. Zinakuanga cousins, zinapendana. Moja ikikuja, expect the other one to come after a few years. Miezi 6, 1 year, mwenzake atajitokeza. Sawa? Hypertension, diabetes. After that, uanze kidney issues, liver issues, because hao ni mandugu dada za hypertension. And then ukifuata diabetes ikikuja hivyo, expect what to come in? Peptic ulcer disease, PUD. Si ndio? Alafu unaambiwa sasa huwezi kula chumvi because of pressure. Uambiwe sasa uko na ulcers, huwezi kula sukuma, huwezi kula maharagwe, huwezi kula managu, huwezi kula saga. So unaishi nini? How are you living? Quality of life drops, okay? And then you start having sleep disorders. You go to bed, you know each and every crevice in your ceiling. Ukijikuta uko kwako na unajua ceiling yako iko na cracks ngapi, you are not sleeping. Sini ukweli? It means you're lying and staying awake and wondering, when did that one come? They were 5. Hii nyumba inaenda kuanguka? No. Oh, okay. Unawaza. Or, there are 2 types of sleep disorders. You go to bed and you can't fall asleep. Okay? That's the most notorious one. Unajiongelesha, unashindwa kulala. Alafu eventually you turn to what? The phone. Famous friend. Start scrolling. Kwanza siku hizi kuna shetani anaitwa nani? TikTok. Sindio? TikTok. Whereby all types of nonsense come out at night. Have you realized? Do you know what TikTok is? You know it? Okay. Are you there? You left. Just like you. Do you know what TikTok is? You know. You're there. Why not? Prof, unajua TikTok? Hallelujah. Addicts ndio hawa hawalali usiku. I don't think there's anything you're missing out on TikTok. It's a lot of nonsense that goes there, but you have some educational bits occasionally, non-verified most of them, but these are things that make you not sleep. Because by the time you start scrolling on those reels, scroll 2 minutes, ukishtuka utoe macho hivi kwa simu, 2 hours. Sleep has eluded you. So people who have trouble falling asleep run to their phones. You're hurting your health, you're hurting your eyes because of light. Jusu mezimata. Kwa blue light hivi, sindio? You and your small god going through reels and seeing all the lies people are lying to each other there and the scammers. Then there are those who sleep but cannot be able to move from one sleep cycle to another, so they wake up katikati ya usingizi. Sindio? Unalala, umemaliza sleep cycle moja. Sleep cycle is around 45 minutes. So you've gone REM, rapid eye movement, deep sleep, rapid eye movement. Now when you want to move into the next sleep cycle, you wake up. Hawa ni wenye wanamkanga saa 7, saa 8. Ama faithfully saa 9, and then you say God has told you to wake up and pray. Sindio? Wamama wetu wanasemanga hivyo. Eti Mungu ameniamsha niombe saa 7 za usiku. Saa 9 ya usiku. 3 a.m. is the time when you do what? Spiritual warfare. Okay, it is true, I'm a Christian. My mother prays for me at 3 a.m. I can't wake up at 3 to pray. But I can't. She wakes up and we tell her, pray for us. Don't wake us up. Pray for us. Tunawekanga silent ndio asituamushe. She will go around calling and warn to you if you are on WhatsApp, and she has WhatsApp. So she checks like this. If she finds you online, tuombe. So we put do not disturb or invisible. You can't be seen. So that thing of Jehovah has woken you up at 3 or 1 is a psychological issue. You cannot be able to fall asleep. There are remedies to that. It means your mind is so preoccupied, you can't seem to just get enough a break to rest. There's something disturbing you. Maybe you know or you don't know. But there are remedies around it. There are things that we can do, lifestyle changes we can do that can help you be able to induce yourself to sleep and to remain sleeping, okay? Then, when we're talking about mental and emotional challenges or impacts of stress, we've said about health, hypertension, chronic fatigue, sleep disorders, headaches, diabetes. Then we have mental and emotional effects. You become anxious. Mtu anakwambia kitu naruka. No. Have you met a very defensive person? Anything you ask to them is like you're attacking them. So they're so defensive. And you're like, Nini, I was just asking, pole pole. Like, why are you defensive? We are discussing, okay? So anxiety, depression, mood changes, irritability, or they just don't care. Loss of interest. They're not there. Fanya hii, okay. Tufanye hivi, sawa. Ama tufanye hii, venye unaona. If there's something I hate is that statement. We fanya yenye unaona iko sawa. It's very demoralizing. Then what happens to your work performance? Productivity goes down once you're stressed. Mistakes go up. When productivity goes down, mistakes definitely go up. And the mistakes could be life-threatening, it could be health-threatening, it could even be financial or emotional, threatening to you as a person. Then there's absenteeism, unakuja leo, unakuja kesho, unaruka. Lateness, eventually you even start getting memory loss. You remember this, but because you're so stressed, you can't seem to remember. Ukiwa uko preoccupied akili, have you realized you know something, you really try to remember what it is. You can see it somewhere in your head, you can't remember the name. Like you know her name. You try and recall, you can't remember. It's not your fault. There's something disturbing your mind. Okay? Then relationships. Sana sana here. at work, you'll have conflicts left, right, and center. No man is an island. We're expected to work as teams, yeah? Teamwork is very important. But if you are pushed to an elastic limit and you're burnt out, do you think you'll be able to work as a team? Ngumu. Everything anyone says will be discouraging to you, it will be demeaning to you, it will sound irritating. The culture that you should have of inclusivity and borderlessness will never be achieved. Because mimi niko kivyangu, wewe uko kivyako, kila mtu afanye vile anataka. Very difficult. And once that happens, eventually service delivery goes down. And the common mandate of an institution is teaching. Teaching. We are shaping lives, yes? Yes, and we're not shaping lives so that they go and get jobs to earn money. No. Why do we shape their lives? Because God forbid, this MBCHB student you're teaching, or this teacher you're teaching, one day will teach your children, or one day will become your doctor. Now imagine you that has been given that mandate by God, because you know teaching is a gift. It's not everybody that can do knowledge transfer. Not everyone that can do knowledge transfer. Knowledge transfer means whatever knowledge I have in my head, I can give it to you, and you use it, implement it, understand and implement it, and remember. Si kupeana notes. Etienda musome, vile wengine tunafanyanga. No. Knowledge transfer. Now this person that is supposed to be a doctor, med students will graduate December. Imagine if they're half-baked, and you teach immunology. Hi. And then you go and find one of them as a doctor, seated. Teach. They are the ones to treat you. And at the back of your mind, for sure, hufunza kitu. Na huyu sasa ndio umepata. Ama upate ni yule mwanafunzi mwenye alifanya hiyo kitu. Si wako, si ndio? Lakini hata sisi ni wabaya kama walimu. Kama ni achane na hiyo story. So if you are doing this, you understand my point. If you are doing this tomorrow, you'll find them as the ones seated there. And God is a funny God. Those ones that are like that are the ones that get very good jobs. And they find you seated there. And you peep and find it's the doctor that is seated there. You take 2 steps back first and said, who you are. Whose fault is it? Yours. Is it mine? No. Service delivery has gone down. You're not only affecting this child because they may not land a good job or a good future. What of yours that is intertwined with theirs? You never know. This God is a funny God. He sits somewhere and decides, your thunder is coming, and your thunder might not be sickness. It might just be payback of what you are doing to this child. Okay? So if we can be able to manage stress, you find yourself coming to class, you be productive, going to the office, be as productive as you can. Okay? Do your best. It's very difficult to be able to do excesses because of limitations that we have. So, and I remember when I used to be a manager, I used to tell people, improvise. Si managers wanasemanga hivyo. Improvise. Work around it. This is a resource limited setup. Mnajuanga hizo vizungu kubwa ya HR. Resource limited setup. Do something about it in your own capacity. Be proactive. Let me see that you can do this. Unapewa motivation. Ujitolee. Ufanye. Which is good. But don't do it in excess, that it affects you as an individual and you get burnt out. Ikifika hapo sema, I think nimefika limit, I need help. The biggest problem we have is not being able to realize that you have gotten to the breaking point. And you say enough is enough. Do you guys fear human resource? Mnawaogopa? Kwa nini? HR department. Mnawaogopa? What's the worst that they can do? Sack you. That is the thing you fear. Inaribu nini kwa file? What is a show cause letter? I think I've become immune to them. What's a show cause letter? A show cause letter is just telling you to explain. Haijaku criminalize. Imeku penalize? No. It's just asking you, explain, talk to us and tell us the situation around This problem that arose, you have been purported, you have been assumed, sindio? It's not saying you are a bad person. No. It's just saying there was a problem, yes, you were incriminated, or it is said you have done A, B, C, D, E. Show cause means explain this situation and tell us why we should not take the next step. Na si unajibu. Kuna shida. Kuna shida na kujibu? Hakuna. Si unajibu na unasema, ukijua uko innocent, unajibu tu roho safi. Lakini nayo ukijua umecheza mbaya, show cause inakuwa detrimental, yes. You panic around it, literally. But if you're innocent, a show cause is not supposed to stress you. Human resource officers have a course of counseling that they take in school. Any HR here? Any? Hakuna? Hakuna? They didn't come. Let me give you a secret. These guys did psychology and counseling, if you didn't know. They pretend they don't know that you're going through problems because they can't be too soft on you. But they're supposed to support you. This person called a HR officer, when you go to them with a problem and you're stressed and overworked and you tell them you need 3 days, inakwanga siku 3. Unaenda unamwambia aki, niko na kashida, naomba siku 3 nifanye nini? I sort my personal problems out. Today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be back to work. First thing anakwambia ni, what's the first statement they make? Before that one. Exactly. Nani atafanya kazi yako? Sindio? Who's going to do your job when you're not there? Then when you decide who'll do it, then they tell you do what? Put it in writing. Because they don't want to be incriminated that walikupea off na hukuitisha, sindio? Wao wanajisave. So what happens if they don't buy into your reasoning that you need 3 days off? They tell you go back to work, sindio? It is not possible. Imagine if you're a mom to a young child and this is a 4-month-old, tunarudingi after 3 months maternity, sindio? Your child is 4 months old, you're still breastfeeding, actively you have not weaned, and your house girl pulls a December. You know what a December is? Ile December wakihama, wanaume labda mujui. December inakuanga change over period ya house girls. Wanaamua wanaenda hata wao wanatafuta house girls. So house girl anaamua naolewa, pia yeye atafute house girl amsaidie kazi. So December inakuwa change over period. We call it pulling a December. So you have your 4-month-old, your house girl wakes up one day and decides, I'm gone. Or in their infinite wisdom, they don't even tell you. So umezoea kulala mpaka saa 1:30. Kisii hakunanga jam. The house girl wakes up at 7. If they are kind to you, they will clean the house and make breakfast. Ndio wakunywe. Asimame, aende, arudishe mlango. So you wake up thinking, nimeoga, wacha nimpe mtoto, nikimbie kazi nirudi saa 6 kunyonyesha. The house is empty. Oh. Paris. Nobody. Mary. Unatoka nje. Mmenionea huyo msichana. If you are in an apartment. Mmenionea msichana wangu wa kazi. Miss. If you're in your own compound, you look at the gate and see it is open. Unajua tu kimekuramba. Sindio? She's gone and pulled a December. Then that's when you ask HR, give me what? 3 days. To do what? Sort myself. Sina mtu wa kuachia mtoto. HR tells you, pambana na hali yako. Kazi lazima ukuje. You are stressed as a mother. Maziwa inakatika. Your child picks up that intuition of stress because of cortisol levels and realizes you're not okay, so the child becomes cranky. Ile time uko stress, ndio mtoto atakusumbua, atalia. It's because they know your cortisol levels are high, so their cortisol levels go high. So the child will definitely react as you react. If you're calm, they calm down. But if you're high and stressed and you know you're cranky, they become cranky as well. And you decide, carry your child to work because God has given you the grace of having an office. Yes? God has blessed you. Your job is an office. It's not like ours in the ward. Sijui sisi tutapeleka watoto wapi? Pelekea mama yako. So you carry your child to the office. Yaani wapite wakupata na mtoto kazini. Sasa hiyo mmekaa. Mnafichanga watoto wapi? Chini. Nimedanganya, si ni ukweli. Chini kwa floor. Unamtanikia vizuri, umebeba blanketi kubwa kubwa na hii joto. Unajua ni ya kulalisha mtoto. Ama tule tu box kubwa kubwa. Put the baby there, you know, and you're praying, God, let this child do what? Not talk. Be quiet. Unajaribu ananyonya shibe alale. Oh. Child will not sleep. Why? Foreign environment. They don't know where they are. Who is this? Where am I? Anaangalia meza na chini. Atalala ngumu. Atakuwa macho. Hiyo ndio time atajifundisha kucheka. You will realize there's a child. HR passes or your boss passes there. You have a child at work. You are now stressed now to a very bad limit because umekutana na mdosi, uko na mtoto. What do you do? Inaanzanga na kelele, si ndio? Why did you come with your child to work? How do you respond? Because you know head on answers. Mwingine mwenye ni mpole. Aki, I'm sorry. Si mtu anzanga hivyo. Aki, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Aki, nisamee. Sikuwa na namna, si ndio? Mimi huwezi nipata nikianza na pole. What did you want me to do, surely? I asked you for 3 days off. You didn't give me. Now I have to carry the baby to work. I'm trying to juggle this and this. Unaona? Stress reactions. Hapo utakula shockers letter, si ndio? Utakula shockers letter. Alafu kwa shockers letter uta incriminate nani? HR. I asked, you denied. Ndio. Stressors. Alafu umeleta nini? Conflict. Juu umemshtaki kwa barua. Utawahi kuwa na amani kazini? Ngumu. So as HR practitioners also, when you guys go interact with them, tell them to be human. It's a thin balance between protocol, procedure, and humanity. Empathy. Put yourself in my shoes. Okay? Alafu ni kwa nini wa wanawake ndio wabaya kuliko wanaume? Sijawahi elewa hiyo kitu. I'm a woman, but it's the truth. Nimedanganya? It is true. I don't know why. A woman will not support you. Even though it's a man having a problem, a woman will rarely support you unless they are human. There are few who are very good. But if you find the bad ones, they are bad. Now, after you've realized all this, and now you're pushed beyond limit, how do you cope with this? What do you do? How do we cope with stress? First thing in coping with stress is you have to understand that it is there. You can't cope with something that you don't know is there. Early recognition. Realize that you're stressed or you're burnt out. 2, there are different ways of doing it. 1, as we said, pause. Ile system ya madhi. Weka maji kwa mdomo. Sindio? Put water in your mouth. Count 5 seconds. 5. And if you know itakuwasha sana, make sure it is hot water. You cannot swallow it. Because sometimes you can put water in your mouth and it is so comfortable, lakini mtu anaendelea and you decide, let me swallow and talk. So make sure it is hot water so that you don't be slow to respond. Give yourself 5 seconds for your brain to readjust. That is why people commit murder without intending to commit murder. Ukiwa unahukumiwa and ni gani uko sure utafungwa? Kuna manslaughter na kuna murder. Mnajuanga tofauti? What's the difference? Manslaughter you didn't intend and murder predetermined. Sindio? You sat and thought about it. But yote ni nini imekuwa? Umeua. Na zote inakuanga kifungo iko. But manslaughter is less. Because they believe in those first few seconds that you get a stressor that is not normal. What happens? Adrenaline rushes in. It is a response that is not predetermined. It is something that naturally comes up. We are animals, in as much as we're human beings. Hata mnyama ukienda kumpiga, hata fikiria mara mbili, atakung'ata. Kung'ata ni kuuma. Atakuuma ndio arudi nyuma. Si ndio? Same to you. When you get a stressor that pushes you to a particular limit and you know you want to respond, fight. It's either a fight or a flight response with stress. Pause. Breathe in, breathe out. The difference, or those first 4-5 seconds after a stressor to that magnitude will make or break your decision. Think twice. 2, if you don't have water, what do you do? This one I do a lot. Do it 5 times. Your adrenaline comes down. Sawa? Your adrenaline automatically comes down. Your heart rate goes down. Because once your heart rate is up there and adrenaline is up there, the response will be fight. And you don't want a fight. Another way of managing stress long term, physical activity. Some people run. Unaamka unaanza kukimbia. Ukipata mtu anakimbia kila asubuhi, ila anataka ku lose weight, anachunga mwili, anaenda marathon, ama kona stress. So kukimbia is a very easy way of managing cortisol levels, putting your hormones in check. So running is very good. Physical activity, running, dancing. Wamama tuko na tabia, ukikasirika unafanya nini? Bas. My mother becomes a composer, like she has said, unaimba nyimbo. Alafu unapewa, God gives you infinite strength. Hiyo siku ndio utaosha maukuta, usugue floor. Si ndio? Ladies, I don't know where from. And you become a composer. You will sing songs that are not in the hymnal. Neither are they composed elsewhere. But you shall compose. And it will be harmonious. Although it has a message. If you listen to the words well, kuna mtu unapitisha message across. Sasa wajinga wasikiangi. But ngombe ni ngombe tu. Ndio hiyo. But you're singing to release tension as you're scrubbing the floor. You know. It's a very nice song. Ngombe ni ngombe tu. Ngombe. We unasugua bafu. Physical activity, okay? Now, physical activity can be a source of coping with stress. But at the same time, there's some form of physical activity that can actually now be an excess. Our students use physical activity as a way of releasing stress. And 3/4 of them now come pregnant. Okay? Yes. Sex is a very, very good stress reliever. If done in the right way, with the right person, at the right place. Does it have the right time? Why? Which time is the right time? Okay, you have a meeting. You're supposed to chair the meeting. She's making it even worse. You're supposed to chair the meeting. And God has decided today is the day. Now is the time. And it's 7 o'clock in the morning. You can squeeze in. The meeting is at 8. 8:30. And it is 7. You can work around it. If it is 7 and the meeting is at 8:30, you can work around it. If you're in the office, God help you. And what time is it? 2:30. It's 2. It's 2:15. You need time. So, the right time, the right place, the right person. Si inakuanga tu na sababu mbili. Is it a chore? It's not a chore. By the way, we are making it a chore. We are making life complicated about it. Just go have it. You know, for you married, it's the right person, the right place. Time, you work around it. Work around time. You can work around time. Because tukianza kusema tena time kila saa, utajinyima. Unajua hizi vitu tunafanya hapa duniani pekee. Tukienda mbinguni tunaenda kuimba na kuabudu. Na kunywa asali na maziwa na fruits. Enjoy it here. But true, the right time, please. When you are supposed to do things that are pertaining other things, do it. If it's that one, do. But you can schedule your life around it, okay? So it's negotiation, yes. It is 2:30, niko na meeting mpaka saa 9. Tukutane 3:15. Sawa? Ukue hapa umenichukua kwa mlango 3:15. Lakini si unajua naambia mtu mwenye ni wako. Physical activity. Then, boundaries and time management. We need to learn to differentiate between urgent activities and important activities. I normally ask myself, is it urgent? Do I need to do it now? Yes, do it. Is it important? Yes. Is it urgent? No. Push it to when it can wait. Okay? Then we need to learn to have an algorithm. I have a problem. Yes. Can I sort it now? Do I have a solution for it now? No. When can I get a solution to it? Tomorrow. Can it wait until tomorrow? Yes. Wait for tomorrow. Wacha kujisumbua akili. When will the solution come? 3 months from now. Okay. I want to buy a shamba. I don't have money. I will get money 3 months from now. So hiyo shamba kununua ni nini na nisumbua sahi? Tungoje miezi 3 ifike. Nikipata pesa tutanunua, si ndio? Yes. So let's learn to practically analyze our problems and group them. Urgent, important, immediate, mid-term, long-term.